More people than ever are running marathons, and this all started with the lockdown a couple of years ago, and then just overall consciousness of people caring about their health and wellness has led people to become runners in general, completing just mile races to 5Ks to going to ultras and marathons. And in this video, I want to talk about the statistics between different running brands, running races, and the general running landscape as we head into the future, because it's only going to get more crazy. And for example, this is like the most entry level type thing, but turkey trots, which is just a 5K on Thanksgiving morning, around 1 million people completed one in the United States. That is like 0.3% of the entire America population, which I think is a good amount to complete a 5K. A lot of those people are just like walking and maybe jogging a little bit in there, but still, if it's a family tradition to do a 5K in the morning, I'm on board for that. And 1 million people doing a turkey trot is 3 times the amount of people that were doing it 7 years ago. So that was pre-lockdown numbers, and turkey trots are just on the rise. Another thing that's on the rise is record applicants to the world majors. So London received, this number is just ridiculous, 900,000 applicants to do the London Marathon. I wasn't one of them. I applied for the New York City Marathon, got denied, but that was also another record number of applicants for the New York City Marathon. And then just a couple months ago, it was announced that the Chicago Marathon also got a record number of applicants, around 160,000, which is just way more than they received ever before. And the World Marathon Majors are semi-unique in their increase in numbers because, for example, like the Honolulu Marathon has been consistent around 25,000 to 30,000. It rebounded from like the 2021 race, but the numbers for that marathon have been consistent. It's really people funneling into the World Marathon Majors, so much so that they're like, hey, let's add 3 more. So the 6 World Marathon Majors are about to become 9. Is it just money reasons? I don't know, but I don't mind 9 because that means the amount of applicants can be split up over 9 instead of 6. And we all know how division works, so it's going to be easier to get into each race, hopefully. I mean, the thing is, like, with 9 races, but there's also a record amount of applicants, and those applicants continue to grow, it might just even be harder to get into each race every single year. And a correlated factor with those record number of applicants for races is that qualifying times to get that guaranteed entry into races are getting harder. So the Chicago Marathon went from a 3:05 to a 2:55 last year. The Boston Marathon, and this is for like the 18-year-old males, this is as like the standard. It differs between gender and age. And then for 18 to like 35-year-old males, it went from a sub 3-hour marathon to a 2:55 to start applying for the Boston Marathon. And early results for the 2026 Boston Marathon cutoff time is looking like if you're an 18-year-old to 35 male, you might have to run like a 2:48, 2:49, 2:50, 2:51. Doesn't look like it's going to stay at that 2:53 that it was the previous year. So along with the record applicants, the standards for getting those guaranteed entry times are just getting faster and faster, which makes it much more of like a lifelong goal. So adding 9 marathon majors instead of 6, it's going to take you a longer time to do that. Marathon qualifying times get harder, it's going to take you a longer time to do that. So it just gets you more invested into running over a long period of time, which is, I guess, the result of this increased popularity. Another aspect of running popularity taking off I want to talk about is shoe brands. So there's a bunch of different things that runners buy, whether that's running clothing like athletic wear, mainly shoes, running shoes, because you probably go through 1 or 2 pairs of running shoes a year at minimum if you're a runner and consistent with it. So that means the whole market share for running shoes is just growing bigger. And certain brands are taking up a bigger slice of that ever-growing pie. And it's not for everyone, like Nike and Lululemon, although stock market prices are more of a futuristic outlook rather than past results. Nike and Lulu have struggled in the past year, while oncomers, and you would know this if you're in the running community, Hoka and On, those two are like the hottest shoe brands right now in the running space, On and Dillard's or Deckard's, which owns Hoka. Both those stocks in the past year are up around 100%, so they doubled in the past year. And I'm sure they'll do well in the future because running is growing. And talking about another brand in the running and / endurance space is Bear Performance Nutrition, owned and developed by Nick Bear, whose company is based right now in Austin, Texas. And this year they reported that they did the most sales ever in 2024. And I'm sure they might reproduce those similar results in future years. And they're coming out with new products. G1M Sport is their most popular product, and that's just like a carb mix. And they're about to come out with like G1M Sport Plus, which is a carb and electrolyte mix. I'm not sponsored by them at all. It's just curious to talk about what's doing well in the running space and what's not. And along with Hoka and On, BPN had their best year ever in 2024. We could extend this running short-term trend possibility of popularity to the influencer space as well, to content creators on YouTube and Instagram. Not only do we have like Isaiah Photo, who mainly did like different challenge videos on YouTube, now starting to upload like running specific challenge videos. So that was like one twist, and that's like a 8 million subscriber YouTube channel. We also have like Floberg Runs, who's probably my favorite running YouTuber right now, going from like 30,000 subscribers entering the year to almost double that by the end of it. So a big year for running content creators. One event in particular showcases, what could go wrong when running influencers think they have all the power, and that's like Matthew Choi getting banned from the New York City Marathon because his brother was filming him on an electric bike, causing other runners to trip and navigate around that electric bike throughout the course. So Matthew Choi did get banned from all future New York City Marathon races for that. So there are some positives and downsides to this growing running influencer space, but I wanted to highlight that. And I mentioned earlier in this video that, the London Marathon received almost 900,000 applicants, which was like a 45% increase over the previous year. Also, non-marathon majors are also selling out. So, for example, Grandma's Marathon in Duluth has already sold out. And I'm sure other races that aren't marathon majors are going to start selling out in the future if this running popularity continues. Strava is becoming, I think, just a bigger app in general, not only for running, but for just wellness. And I don't have like exact numbers on Strava downloads, but I'm sure 2024 was a record year for them. So what's the main catalyst of this running boom? Is it runfluencers on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube? Is it just general careness about health and wellness, or is it about the fact that run clubs are like this new trend, which allows just anyone to come and run? You could be running 11, 12-minute pace with a bunch of different group of people and get like free sponsored merch or beverages or a free ice bath to pair along with that. And you get to join a community. Is it just the fact that zone 2 running, jogging is like this trendy thing that you can just get better by not like going all out when you're running every single day? You can run slower and still improve your aerobic base. So what's the main catalyst of running? It's probably all these things. Is there more people running than ever? I would say most likely. It's not like 100% a fact, but if you look at marathon applicants, different running shoe brands, running involved brands in general, running has definitely grown in the last 5 years, and I think it's at its peak right now. And will it continue to grow? I think most likely, but there will be like a leveling off soon, I would imagine. But it's exciting because with more people caring about running, more science is going to get poured into running, more races are going to pop up that are awesome to do. We're going to get 9 marathon majors, maybe extend that to 12 in the future. And I just think it's great for things to come. And lastly, one thing that I want to talk about that's recent trends that correlate with running. They might not be causation, but it's like sort of a hint that certain things are going on in the culture of America and different countries around the globe. Is that special beverages that people might drink at like a bar or other places, the interest in that is declining over time actually. And also gyms are increasing as well. So more people are going to the gym, more people are running. It makes sense. And then other sports like pickleball is just another sport that is booming and it's increasing in accessibility for people who want to be active. So I think all these things correlate, and they all just show a general trend towards people being more fit and being more aware of their health and wanting to live longer and better lives.